Alrighty. Good evening, folks. We are doing ring gaps this evening on our 4.8 LS grenade build. Uh, and you're probably wondering, what is the 3.8 LS grenade? Everything in this motor was either free, reused, or, is a review product from Amazon. There'll be a full list. In this description, yes, I do receive commissions off of those links if you purchase any of the products above. Before you make any purchases, follow along with this build so you can see just how good or how bad these parts may or may not be. We're setting ring gaps at 18 on the top ring and 20 on the second ring because that's what we do. Likely going to see some boost at some point in time in its future. My little spider, so we can see where we're at. And then that one's 13. I'm shooting for 18, which is that bad boy. And our last one that we hit was this one. So, and you take a little at a time, not a lot. And I can already tell that I've fat fingered my way past 18 on this ring. But let's seat it and make sure. Now, I don't seat my rings all the way at the top. I seat them a little bit down below, and then I'll double check them up top. Ain't gonna lie, if your bore's square, it don't matter where you center the ring at, as long as it's square to the bore. And they make all kinds of tools for doing that. You can get 3D printed ones, or in my case, in which we're about 17 thou, I use a brand new extra piston that I was given. There's a reason why it's an extra, it goes in a drag and drive toolbox if I get that far. But it's not this motor that gets it. Good evening. Welcome to the show. We're just fucking around filing rings this evening. We're sitting. That's cozy 16. I need 2 more thou. I need you and y'all. Y'all 2 on the next ring. So we was at 16, and I need 2 more thou, and that was just a couple of revolutions on the old Amazon Ring Filer Express. You ain't got to have fancy tools to do this. You know what? Be exact. I'd almost go get a file. You don't have to have the fancy ring filer that we're using whatsoever. All you need is patience and the ability to sand metal in a slow, meticulous fashion. I want to welcome everybody that's watching along. Appreciate it. And, we're not taking a lot off of this. Little goes a long ways. Couple of revolutions on the old hand crank. I'll wipe the burrs off of it. Or not, well, yeah, it's burrs, little filings, and piston in the hole. And we're going to go straight to what we want it to be. We want it to be 18. And it is super close. It's tight. So we're going to get a ring. We're going to drop the ring. Then we're going to pick it up and get our filer back out. And we're going to get just a touch more out of it. Don't need a lot. Just need a little. And you always want to take off of the same side of the ring every time. Make sure you're always using the top of the ring like you're supposed to, because these rings are, believe it or not, specific. To top and bottom. In the old days, ring technology isn't what it is today. We'll just leave it at that. And for the math on this motor, we used 0.0005 to come up with our ring gap math. And truth be told, it was going to be less because we wasn't going to hit this thing over the head with as much boost and stuff that we're going to now. But somebody fat fingered the first ring, and you don't just do one a little extra and you put all the rest closed. No, you make it all match so it's uniform. You know, because shit happens. You don't get no background noise or anything on my streams. Well, let me rephrase that. Music, mainly because I don't like copyrights. I like to be able to go back and revisit these, and there we go. That is 18. Let's try 19 and see what happens. Did I go too wide? Yep. I think we're good. So there's that side, top rings. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, and we're just going to work the second ring on the next batch of these. Why not? I need to do that. Turbo might make an appearance sometime this evening. We do have barbell going in this with this one. Billet. There's our gasket set and oil pump, bearings, rings. I did buy a good set of lifter trays for it. These was not free. I paid for these. Michigan Motorsports. Seemed to be legit GM at the price I paid for them. And this, my friends, is a Amazon oil pump. High volume. Overall, it don't look terrible. We're going to give it the old college try in this motor. What do I got to lose? I mean, lifter trays, and if a rod saws block that far into that I'm busting lifter trays, then I've done damage enough that it kind of warrants wasting the $35, and I'm out an oil pan and a few other odds and ends. Let's be real. You see bearings and all those rods, but they're not going to stay there. Where's my other set of rings? Oh, there they are. Yeah. I just want to do hot rod shit with my hot rod friends. Some of y'all gonna ask, what's the goal for what's the plans, what's the goal for all this motor and whatnot? And truth be told, is it's going in the daily driver Blazer. So it's actually, for the first little bit of its life, it's just going to see street miles. It's going to be road tripped out of town, not just a little bit out of town, a whole lot out of town, because he does a lot of card game tournaments and stuff, and I'm not afraid to go with him and participate with him. And it's nice little quality father-son time. If it wasn't a school night, he'd be down here helping me build this thing. Uh, he knows that I'm working on it by myself. He was supposed to help me with it. All right. Now we're shooting for 20 thou. 20 thou. And I can look at this one already. And before I pull out the feeler gauge, my smallest is 8 thou. And we're probably sitting at 12 if I had to take a guess. We're going to start with 12. It's a tight 12, so it's probably 11. 11 thou. I need 9 thou taken off that ring so I can get to my 20 thou target. All right. Our death wheels. And you can use hand file, Amazon ring filer. Don't matter. I'd almost do a set with a hand file if it didn't have to go retrieve my files. And we know we need a little more off this one, so we're going to work it just a little more than we normally would. And, you know, I called that first one pretty close. Let's see if I can duplicate it. Said 12 thou. Based on what I just did, we might be 14 or 15 thou. Pull that back up just a little bit. Hey guys, if you're watching along, it is boring work. I don't keep background music on because I hate copyrights, and I don't own them. I don't own the music, so you know, hard to want to keep it around. We're gonna shoot for 16. See what we got. That's it. I think I was pretty close to my guess there. That was 15 thou. 15 thou. We need 5 more. So we just duplicate what we just did. I might on this channel just do music on live streams and deal with it, but I also fear that y'all seeing it as a not seeing it as a thing as well. Let me know. Tell me what you think down there in the comments. Where y'all watching from? What would y'all like to see different? I know most of the people here don't know about the Blazer, don't know about the Project Leftovers or the White Trash Yukon. But we got a couple of different projects that we hang out with on the channel. I've been kind of working a little bit and actually doing a bunch of stuff not channel related outside of this place. But we do start a new job on Tuesday. Y'all will be seeing a lot more fuel injection content on the channel. I'll just leave it at that. Because we're going to be doing... I've dug out my old Mega Squirt box, stock EFI, and I'm going to be looking at a couple of different aftermarket units as well. We're going to be looking at ACEs. We got access to a fuel tech setup to do some experimenting and testing with. I won't be able to do any shortening of harnesses because it's not mine. But hey, you know, the ability to mess with fuel tech and a few other odds and ends. And between the fuel tech, the Mega Squirt, I may even try to get my hands on a Holly. We'll see what happens. Also, we are on the hunt for a dead Holly Sniper throttle body. or a 3-deuce intake setup for an LS. Because I got ideas. And I have a 3 Stormberg 97 EFI setup that needs a control module. And be real, something to put it on. You know, the 3.8 grenade might be cool with 3 deuces sitting on the top of it, but I ain't going to boost 3 deuces. We're going to boost a Trailblazer SS intake. And for the record, I've got an oil pan, an LS1 block, another 5.3, a few other odds and ends hanging out around here that we're going to be doing some stuff with. All right. So let's finish filing these rings. I've been yapping for too long. But I'd rather have a thoughtful conversation with some of y'all out there in the audience while I'm working on this, because I don't have to do it by myself. And if you've ever wondered or thought about it, yes, you can make a powered, oh, what am I trying to call it? A ring filer. You can put a hex bit in right there and definitely make this thing powered. But there ain't no bearings in this bad boy whatsoever. There's like a aluminum on steel down here, and you put a little grease on it to make sure it don't go crazy on you. yeah. That's what happens on some of this. But that ring filer, that one's new. I put a new well on it recently. I dropped it and broke the old one. But I think when the time comes, I might just bore it out and put some bearings in it and call that thing Excelente after that. And just have it to where the outside bearing's a slip fit instead of a press fit. Let's hit 18 and see what we get. All right, we got a tied 18, so we're 17 and a half. I'm gonna go grab a battery pack here in a minute. Roll our heater back beside us. Kind of wish I had a stand that set my ring filer up a little closer. Let's do something. I'm relatively crazy, mind you. We're even putting used lifters back in this motor. That's right. I said used lifters. And y'all are gonna find this setup that I'm about to do absolutely hilarious. But it's required. We're gonna zoom out just a little bit here. And by zoom out, I mean reposition the camera. There we go. I think we're there. We might be a little fat, and if I'm a little fat on the second ring, I don't care as much. I do care, but I don't. Oh man, that thing just needs like a half a pass. So that we line it up, our top marking in this case. So for those watching at home, this marking over here tells you the bore diameter that it's meant for, the top of the ring, and occasionally, I don't know if you'll see it real good on this one or not. Some of these rings will have a bevel on the inside edge or one edge or the other. And that's when you know you'll need a And now that that ring's done, we'll slide it. We're going to double check and make sure the gap's right. We're going to put it in the bore, set it. Now this block has not been paid any visits to the machine shop. Can and might and probably is goofed up in all shapes, forms, and fashions. And it's still a tight 20. It's a little tighter than I'd like it to be. This is one of the few times where I want it loose. That's right, I want it loose. Not quite. Let's see. Not quite prom night loose, but I want it loose. Oh man, that joke failed. Make sure we're good at 20 thou. I feel like I've got this thing angle cut, so we're gonna take a little of that angle off of it. And try and keep your ring ends flush and true and square to each other. And for this ring setting, I'm going to slide and I have just take a touch more off of it. A little dabble do, they say. Yeah, a little dabble do. Close it back up close to the top. And I just found that I got to deburr the top ring a little bit better. Now that everything's in the line, how can I not be taking enough off this ring? Don't get aggressive, whatever you do. And you're not measuring it in the same spot. Where did that boy go? It disappeared in the fucking aether. Boom, 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 boom. If you're just hanging out scrolling, stop on by, check it out, leave a comment, tell me where you're hanging out from. I know it's probably your bedroom or your couch or even the shitter this time of night, and I can't blame you. Can't blame you if you shitter watching, because that's probably where I'd be watching from too. That's about what this is. Shit content. But better than AI generated, because we're actually doing stuff. No, well, I ain't gonna say there ain't gonna be no AI content here, because I've used AI, and there's a point and a place for it. But, you know, that's a different subject. Hey, we got 20 thou. Check it out now. Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. Right about now. And slide our top ring in there. Make sure that it has got all the correct markings facing up. Slide that one in. That one in. And now, when we get ready to put pistons together here in a minute, we can do it all at once. Because what we're going to do on pistons is going to be quite funny. We're going to drill holes. We're going to add holes to pistons. We're not crazy. We've done this in the past. Quite honestly, apparently one of the best running motors I've built, according to the owner. I'm all about that. It was built on this channel back at the beginning of the year. Not the only motor that's been built. It's just the only one that's been built recent, or the only one that was built on the channel. I built the new one for the Blazer in the rain and in the dark. So let's be real, it wasn't done very nice and neat at that time. Is that better? Looks a little better. Seems a little better. Be real. Let's see what it's going to get this evening. We'll update some lighting next to soon. I just need to add another light down here. It ain't but like $10 or $15. Hey, this is probably the most consistent gapping on rings in this set yet. Links will be posted sometime. Knowing I had to take a good bit off of it, I went a few extra revolutions with it. Let's hope I didn't go too many. Like I said, it's second ring. Not prime, but it does work. It's 12. You know what? Curiosity, 19. Guys, I did it. Again. I may have went 21. No, I didn't. I didn't go 21. We were right there. We there. Watch this. Bingo. Rango. Bongo. I'll take it. And another one bites the dust. Hey, another one's gone. Another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna you too. Another one bites the dust. Hey. Not taking any future requests for the record. My karaoke hours, whatever I feel like singing. Alright. Top standard. We still got to deburr these rings. We still got to modify pistons. But we're going to do this bank 100%, be done with it. Then we'll final clean. Actually, too late now. I should have went and borrowed a lifter hone so I could run a hone through those. Might load block up and go wash it on lunch tomorrow. Bad decisions? Yeah. Future problem for future me. This thing may just get brake parts cleanered right here on stream. And then I'm going to pull the crank out and I'm going to brake parts cleaner, gray Scotch-Brite, and run a oil passage, oil galley cleaning kit through it and see what happens. We bold, we brave, and we ugly. We know we ugly. But we bold and we brave. Alright. Overall, on the top rings, they've either been 8 or 12 on the 4 that we've done so far. And all of the second rings have been 12. Say what you want about the Amazon ring kits. This one seems to be halfway decent. I'll admit that the bearings came packaged decent, and I haven't even opened this set yet, so join me as we crack open a brand new set of main bearings. I am going to take a couple of measurements once they're in the block. I see bubble wrap. Oh, yeah, nice. They actually sealed them like they're supposed to be sealed. There we go. And, dude, these have got, is that like a Cleveland part number on that bad boy? Might have to look into those a little bit further. Because that part number is a Cleveland part number. I know these are, it wouldn't be the first time I've run into a white box Cleveland. Engine Tech is just about the same thing. And actually, I like Engine Tech stuff, so. And say what you will about that. So if I maintain this ring filer, it is going to get the mod that holds the ring. And this will become powered. And I may just go ahead and start designing it in CAD. And then once you figure out what you need, you zero it. Once you zero it, you can take your dial indicator, move it in how far you need it to take off, and then you just make it fit. And guess who wants that to be his next ring filer? Almost willing to pay for it. But there's something about doing it this way that's just mildly refreshing after work. Killing a couple of minutes, hanging out with people you don't know. Well, you put a motor together. You ain't in a hurry. I ain't doing this to make money. I'm just doing this to have fun. Do race car shit with race car friends. And there's liable to be a great channel purge of older content in the near future. It is what it is. Some of it, you're real. Commentary stuff was fun while it was fun. We still may go back and have some, we may do some on occasion. But this is no longer a daily habit or anything like that for making stuff. Be more, definitely, like I said, more fuel injection and aftermarket fuel injection videos coming. What's my ring gap like? Chat, help me out. Tell me what you think. Kind of hard. Not enough to worry about. We're not there. It's whatever it is, it's not there. We're gonna hit it with 16. Okay, 16 glided. About 18. My next digit's up. Okay, 18 passed. 19. 19 kind of loose. We ain't supposed to hit it on one effort. Bro. Ain't no way. I did it. I did it. I did it. $20,000. Yep. Why not? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do this bank. God, I'm really just kind of. I want to hear this thing run Sunday. Y'all want to watch a stream of this thing getting swapped Sunday? Temptations. Temptations, temptations, temptations. Alright, so there's that. Oh, we can't let the rings cross. And we'll roll this bad boy over, and I think we're going to do the other 4 too while we're at it tonight. The more I think about it, the more I want to do everything. Even if I have to assemble this Sunday, I can do it Sunday morning when I wake up. Give everything a chance to get warm outside. Because I still can't do front cover, can't do rear cover, and I can't do oil pan anyway. Cylinder heads. Stock cam or... I think I'm going to go with the China Chopper Copper. Copy. The Chopper Copper copy. I did not purchase the cam. It was donated to the project out of a blown up 4-point grate. Now, we've got a 5.3 coming out of the Blazer. It's an aluminum 5.3, and that one's a little tight, so it's not quite 12 thou. We don't care. We're going to zap it on the old ring filer of destiny. Alright, chat. Name my ring filer. I've got a slot car named Gappy. Kind of funny because it runs like 950s. In a scale quarter, it runs 0.950. It's kind of funny. Named it Gappy because it was meant to be a heads-up car. Everybody laughed, and then all of a sudden it started running the numbers. We know that's not 12 thou. We know it's not. Wheel that bad boy right back in there. 18. Survey says, nope, too small. Do it again. So we was likely about 17 there. 18 would hit in the gap, but wouldn't do anything really impressive with it. And I know what you're saying. This is a lot of work for it to be a grenade motor. Yeah, it is. But the goal of it is not for it to blow up due to ring gap or anything of that nature. It is to blow up because of parts failure, such as a rod or a piston. Yeah, it was a tight 19. I'm okay with that. Gives me room to work with. We want parts failure to be the main cause, not bad assembly. And checking clearances is good assembly practice. I wish they had some plastic gauge, and I very well may go pick some up tomorrow after work. If I can find any in town, that'd be the real question. I may have to order it and get it sent in and pick it up after work. And, a couple passes on the old Gap Master 5000 there. And the 20 thou is starting to fit, but we're not quite there. Make sure we got our markings where we want them. All right, and number one. Pull that ring up because this thing's square. Now let's try it again, shall we? And 20. Where's my 20 at? All right, 20 fits, but let's. There we go. I know that's going to be right where I want it to be. The 20 thou feeler gauge was there, and I just kind of wanted a smidge more off of it to fit nicely. Square it up. Thou. And we're home. We're home. All right, so there's that. Let's go grab our drill and a 16th inch drill bit, and let's start modding pistons. That's cool. Kid sending me his setup for Saturday. All right, and next up, let's get y'all in a little closer for this. We're going to do everything right here. And we're going to reposition. Reposition a light source. And we're going to shoot from the dark side. Let's bring this one right here. And first up, we'll do cylinder number 7. We're going to do it all on stream because that's what we're going to do. I'm not doing anything else off this build, not on the camera, if I can help it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add oil return divots. These are cool. They do the trick, but they're not quite enough. So we're going to add more. And I want one kind of dead center right here. Actually, no. I'm going to do 2. And we're going to go on 1 on each side of the wrist pin. We're not going to touch the middle of the piston. This isn't going to pull any strength out of it or anything like that. It's just going to allow the oil that gathers come on. Now, normally I would like to use a vise and a few other odds and ends, but that ability isn't here. Okay. We're going to stop. We're going to pause. We're going to evaluate our drill bit situation, and we're going to go replace it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go replace our drill bit. This one ain't worth a damn. Its value is measured in... What can I do? Can I cut? Nope, I can't cut. Okay, try again. But we are going to return this bit to the bin. Okay. What bit is this? We're using a 5/64 bit. I don't know what you're saying. Wait a minute. You just culled a bit because it wasn't cutting and went and picked another bit up out of the cabinet. That's it. We sure did. All right. Back to what we was doing, shall we? It's cutting like it's supposed to. And you do want to try to avoid bashing the outside of the ring lens as much as you possibly can. We're actually going to use our finger to stop the... And when you're done, you'll have 2 additional holes. And some people will drill them here and here. I do not, because these feed the wrist pin. And you always want the wrist pin to have oil, lube that bit. Yeah, you always use lube. Just go ahead and run with that however you so choose. I will not stop you. So there's that one, and we'll roll this one up. And these wind up being about a 1/2 inch in. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not being perfect about it. But be damned if I didn't. Okay. We'll spray all these off with brake parts cleaner before we really go any further. But now I've got oil return holes here and here. Pull our camera back, or pull our lights back close to us here. There we go. You can see the 2 oil holes that I just drilled. And on the inside, they're into a rather hefty part, but because that's in the oil groove, as oil builds up here and it scrapes it all out of the cylinder walls, it's going to feed some here, and then it's also going to feed the excess back towards this side. And if you notice how we have it angled, it's going to feed the wrist pin. So it ain't going to be much, but it's going to be something. So that's number 7. Pretty sure it's 7. Yeah, it's 7. So we're just going to drop. I was going to drop it in there, but we're not. We're going to set it back down here, and we're going to pick up number 5, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to continue to drill. I think this one here, I'm not trying to drill it. We're going to start it. And we're going to drill this one straight. And aim it straight towards the wrist pin. Same with this one. Same, about the same distance. And we got 2 holes. Let's drill 2 more. Do it again. One more again. Boom. There's another one now. We'll deburr those here in just a moment. We're not going to just stab stuff together, I promise. Kind of may want to at times, but we ain't going to. Ouch. We got it, but I think we'll be okay. We'll be alright. What's going on? What's up, Hot Rod Guy Garage? What's going on, Brandon? Glad to see y'all hanging out this evening. Yeah, it's the only chance I get to work on stuff this week, so I won't put this motor in Sunday. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we're going to try. Yep, we're poking holes in pistons to give them a failure point that, is not supposed to be a failure point, but supposed to be the exact opposite of it. They're all return passages. 5/64 drill bit. You can use a 16th, it'll work just as well if you're more comfortable with a little hole. I occasionally like a big old hole. But dude, Sunday is I could use a hand on Sunday. Wear some clothes you don't mind getting dirty. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the goal is to I'm gonna wake up probably fairly early Sunday. I know I'm gonna get home late Saturday. Gotta go to Johnson City with Hayden. That'll be a fun adventure. God, I just hope it goes better for him than it went for me when I went to that location for a tournament. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope it goes better for him. Oh, you can wish the best for your kid, right? And that one that I just did is number 3, but it's labeled as number 5. I'm gonna be real. I kind of know why. Because I think this set of rods and pistons had one missing out of it for a reason. Yeah. So the Blazer is currently a running driving vehicle. It just does not run very good, and I'm tired of fucking with it in its current configuration. And yeah, I know you're probably saying it must be nice to be tired of messing with it and you can just swap motors. No, I'm having to build the motor to go in it. And we're building a race motor for a street vehicle that doesn't need all these mods that we're doing. What's wrong with me? Anybody in chat that answers that question, I'm banning. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Uh-oh. Let me go grab battery pack, or else we ain't gonna have no stream, guys. We're gonna lose stream. Can't have that now, can we? Well, sir, you needed that truck. In all honesty, you did. You needed that truck. And no, it's not a full rebuild. It's more of let's tear it down and see what's not happy and fix it. Because it was just freshly rebuilt. I think I can get away with pulling it apart. We'll cross that bridge in like 2 weeks when we get to it. So for all my hot rodders out there in chat, I got a set of rocker arms off Amazon. Overall, they look decent. Say they got a trunnion upgrade. Looks decent. And then I flip it over and look, and there's wear surfaces. I got this one right here, and this as cast. All that's going to do is eat the end off my push rod. And then I got this one here, and it's also as cast. And I know what you're about to say. Oh, you're going to pull out some used rocker arm and all this, that, and the other. But even a used rocker arm, get my lights set back up here. deal with me here for this rant. Even on my used rock arm, it's got a sheen, yes, that rides on the roller tip, but even the area that doesn't ride the roller tip has got a smooth finish to it. And in the ball cup, it polishes itself to a certain degree, but it was fairly smooth in there to begin with. That wasn't in an as cast appearance. It's actually been finished machined, where these have not been finished machined. They was missing a machining step in the process. If I'd paid for those rockers, they would have went back quick, fast, and in a hurry. Just saying. Because that is not the kind of quality that I put up with. Hence the reason why they're not installed. As an FYI. Slide y'all back this direction. I got to extract number 1 piston. So, and then we're going to go ahead and drill the other 4 while we're in that stage of doing stuff. Put this little filter right here. Take this. Set it right there. I needed that. We're going to set this. And we'll just get those back down when we need them. Timing set, Amazon. Oil pump, Amazon. Camera retaining plate. I think I've got one. If not, I probably should have ordered one. But Amazon. Gasket set, Amazon. This one's going to have an actual set of Velcro head bolts due to the name of the project, the Leftovers or free.8. These was bought for a motor that's currently in Leftovers as mock-up block. Kind of funny enough as it is. It needed sleeves, and I sent it to live outside for years. And it'll continue to live outside because I don't care. Okay, cool. I got the motor swap for it for when the 5.2 or the 5.9 dies. I don't know which option package you got with yours. And it could have came with either or. And I know where a 5.9 is. It'll go in it if you so choose. But for the record, that ain't gonna haul what I had to haul. Just for the record. You kind of need what's sitting in my backyard to haul what you got. In which I'm supposed to get a title for that bad boy soon. And then somebody else can deal with its problems because I'm not. Or enough y'all say something and it becomes a channel project, and then late next year, or we Hemi swap something. You know, we can really say, hey man, does that thing got a Hemi in it? But this ain't a real Hemi. It's Hemi, but it ain't a Hemi. All right. And another piston is done. 4 more to go. 4 more to go. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? I don't get enough sleep. I will probably work on this for, let's see, I know it's about 11:50-ish. I'm probably right. If I can get rings filed, that'll make Sunday super easy. Because I think I'm going to get Hayden to help me load this thing in the back of the Yukon in the morning. And may swing by here and pick him up tomorrow evening. Make him help me for a few minutes because it'll make what I got to do tomorrow evening go that much quicker. I know. Forced labor of a child. He likes it, so it ain't forced at that point. But what else is he going to do? But he can come hang out with Dad on a Friday night. And if I go to bed in the next hour, I'll get up at 6:45, wake everybody else up, and then I'll go back to sleep until 8. And then I get up and I take a shower and I leave here by 9:30 to be at work by 10. So, I get up, wake everybody else up, and then once they're up, it's not my problem. And I see so much area for ventilation that the factory didn't do. Meh. I don't know if I want to. I'm not getting in there and cutting on this block for it. We're not doing it. Nah. I'll be real. There was decisions made earlier. That means I'll sleep pretty good tonight. I might accidentally sleep through an alarm clock tomorrow morning. We know we got to clean it all, so we're not super concerned. Everything's marked. Yeah, but you see, that changes. Like, I'm trying to start getting up and staying up at 6 because I'm about to have to start leaving the house at 7:30 so I can go be at my new job by 8:30. So, and at that point, we're probably going to add taking the kid to school in the mornings as part of it. Currently, his mom does that because that's what she does, but if I'm going to start driving the hot rod to work every day. Awesome. And that would be number 8. Steak donate. We'll fit it here in a moment. We're not dropping these back in as they are because we know better. Yeah, call me lucky all you want. Just so everybody can see what we do in here. And we just keep drilling holes in pistons. No, I am not an ASE certified fuck up by any shape, form, or fashion. I am a garage certified fuck up. Because of my education is written in broken parts all over all the broken parts that I've had over the years. That was the cost of my education. Well, these drill bits are good and all, but they ain't that good apparently. I should use a drill stop. I really should. But you know what? I'm doing this as the average mechanic or at the average Joe who is going to do this. Now, yours may not say Milwaukee, but it don't matter what brand it says. I mean, I can go get a Black & Decker if I really, really wanted to. But we don't need a Black & Decker pecker wrecker. And then there was two. And then there was two. Hooray. And then there was two. Hurrah. And now I'm wearing a combination of oil and Marvel Mystery Oil that we use to lube all of these wrist pins after everything got cleaned and sat for a little while, and it kind of had a little bit of buildup in there, and once it got lubed up, they've been free. I've cleaned it and re-lubed it since, and we're going to clean it and lube it one more time before it goes together, because there's no such thing as too much cleaning and no such thing as too much lube. Even your mom knows. Try to keep the drill bit out of the ring lands. If you nick one, it's okay. It's not a compression ring. It is an oil ring. Ooh, that was nice and slick and smooth and like right on cue. Ouch. I managed to. Yeah, almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, atomic warfare, and one or two of my exes. Years and years past. Look where that one started. There we go. Voila. There we go. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get the riot police called on us this evening. What the hell you doing down there? What's that smell? Right parts cleaner, honey. Smell of speed. There we go. That one didn't exactly feel good, but neither does that cut. Thanks, Turbo. You're a real hero. That's right. Calling you out, Turbo. I don't like the feel of that. I wish I had another one to swap it with. Number 2, if you're the one that comes apart in this motor. We're going to send it. Boys, we're going to send it. I'm just going to send it. You got questions? Post them up in chat. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. I don't give life advice and I don't talk politics. Fuck all sides. Vote nuclear warhead in the White House 2025. And our last hole for the evening. Heat. And then I think we're going to spend... We'll go ahead and gap our second rings. We're going to gap all the rings and we're going to call it a night. I ain't going to spray no more pistons off because it's a little much. Alright, let's see. 1040. This puts us at midnight. You know what? I was, but we're actually not. We'll gap the other side of this. This is to get up early Sunday morning on a little bit of sleep and get this stuff done. I ain't gonna lie, there's a clock in me and it's calling it closer and closer to quit than I'd like to. Part of it is, decisions that was made earlier. It's been fun. It's been real. And it's actually been real fun this evening. We're going to put the tools down. We're going to turn the stream off. And we're going to wish all y'all merry folks. Good evening. This is your captain, and this has been building the 3.8 grenade. We'll tune back in tomorrow with whatever we decide to work on, because we're gonna go. We'll be live tomorrow for a little bit. Y'all get what you get. Till then, we'll see you then. This is your captain. I'm out.